see you, Steve.
Very nice to see you. I was at the screening the other day and saw you guys, but I was wearing a mask and, that wasn't coming off. Let me start by saying congrats. You once again made me look away from the screen, I think a few times. So I'm just going to say well done.
Thank you, man.
I want to jump backwards, actually. When you guys were making the first film, what was your optimistic goal for how well the film might do?
Oh. Our optimistic goal is that
it didn't crash and burn.
Yeah, that they were not going to kick us out of the country back to Uruguay.
They would take our green cards away. They might this time, but the first time around, that was because look, we were lucky that Evil Dead, our first film, was so successful and it was #1 movie when it opened and opened big. So there was something we knew for a fact that our own little original movie with half the budget, with no IP or what of no kind was ever going to top that one. That's the only thing we knew for a fact. And then it opened even bigger and ended up being a huge success. So who never saw that coming? And you were with us the night, if I remember correctly, in Austin. I think with Don't Breathe, you host a Q&A at some point with us.
Comic-Con.
Comic-Con, exactly, yeah.
That's a whole nother story. I'd never forget that night, actually. I could talk about that. So I love learning about the behind the scenes of the making of movies. What do you think might surprise people to learn about the making of the first film? And what would surprise people about making the sequel?
The first one, what was surprising about that? That I wasn't going to direct it. I think that's I don't know if anyone knows that. We wrote it, and we thought I'm gonna direct this. So we should find a director who wants to do it. And then no one's wanted to do it. We literally offered to people that said no, thank you. And then we were probably running out of money. And we thought well, you told me earlier, Rob Tapert, I think Sam Raimi's partner, was like, Fede, you're young, you need to make a movie. You're stuck with this one. And I was like, okay, well, let's kill our careers. And we went and we made it. That's something not a lot of people know. I wish I could say, yeah, we had a vision. We knew it was going to be a success, but we did not. And this time around, I managed to go no, this time I did the way. And now I watch the movie, I'm like, God damn it, should have made it myself.
You know what surprised me in this movie is Stephen Lang. He's the nicest, sweetest man ever. He's such a charming man. And we would be having breakfast before shooting, and he's just himself. And then on set, with all his makeup and everything on, he becomes Norman, 100%. So I would just approach him, hey, Slang, and he's like, looking all the time like that. I'm like, okay. You do whatever you want, man. You got it. He's got that presence on set at all times. It's amazing. And then at night, he goes back to the hotel, and he's again the sweetest guy. It's such a transformation.
He turns into the character. When he walks on set, it's him. I told you, it was one of my few advices going in. I was like, remember that you cannot pretend Slang is Stephen Lang, that's how you call him if you know him. It's you cannot pretend Slang to go into the scene, pump him up, do all these terrible things, and then suddenly be the nicest guy at the same time. There's no way. It's either or. Once you you prime him for that, he stays on character. That's really scary and brilliant to see on set.
It's interesting how each actor likes to work and how some will be the loosest they could be and then to flip it on the second, But I wanted to talk to you guys. You guys put some pretty messed up stuff on film. Have you had any battles with the MPAA over any shots? Or have they been pretty lenient with you?
Well, I think...
Not really. Evil Dead maybe had a...
Yeah.
This one had a bit of a... No, usually we're 5 frames away from NC-17. That's what happened every time with us. It's not a new concept. It's the same concept you see in the movie, only that probably in the first cut they were exposed a bit more. So overexposed, so we had to pull back a little bit. And sometimes I think every time we had to make for a better cut. Evil Dead had a lot of that. Those moments, you would just show a little bit more. I don't know. The logic of the MPAA is if you see 5 more frames, you're fucked up forever. If you don't, you'll be okay. I don't know, but that seems to be the logic.
Yeah, they're full of shit, but you can't say that. I can though.
It is censorship, which
It's messed up, man. I love learning about the editing process because that's where it all comes together. Can you guys talk about what you went through in the editing room for Don't Breathe 2? Did you ever have a much longer version? Did you have any big changes that happened as a result of the editing process?
You know what? No, not really. I think what you guys are going to see is the director's cut. Everybody, producers in the studio, gave us a lot of freedom to do whatever we felt was better for the movie, and our editor Jan Kovac, such a talented man, and a pleasure to work with, helped so much. Editors make you revisit the story, and they bring a new perspective, and they have ideas on how to maybe piece the whole thing together in a different way, and they surprise you, and you're like, oh my God, that's even better than what we envisioned. And also Fede came in and have some ideas on how to reshape some scenes. But the cut that you're gonna see is the cut that we love, and there's nothing that we left out.
This is something that happened with some movies, and you just have to see them to believe me. It's like we write them in a way, and the first movie is a good example of that. This is the same. That we write them in a way that you cannot fuck up with them. There's no way you can lift a scene out of it. It's just the thing collapses. It would make no sense. It's such a from here to there, from there to there. So if you suddenly cut it and he's from here up there, you gotta go, wait a second, how did he made it? There's no way. And so the story, we try to really craft them in a way that then there's not a lot you can do. We can reshape or really work on the way we cut a scene, but the structure it's such a solid thing on the script usually that there's just no way you can tamper with it. I mean, look at Don't Breathe 1. Imagine if there's a moment you go like, I would have cut that out. It's unlikely. Every piece has a moment. The same with this one. It's just every piece has its purpose in a way that it was crafted like that on the script, and makes it very difficult to lift them out, right? So that's why from Evil Dead to Evil Dead had a little bit more like stuff that we left out, and that's why there's an extended cut. But the Don't Breathe movies, at least, they're such a machine of plot that it's really hard to stick stuff out, right?
I have to stop there. I'm just going to say congrats, guys. I look forward to whatever you guys are going to do next. Thank you for giving me your time.
Thank you,
man.
Thank you.